to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I bring you greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus. I hope this video meets you well. Thank you very much from wherever you are listening to me. I appreciate you, and once more, God bless you. Yeah, the footage you saw with which this video started was Apostle Dr. Kassy, the lion killer himself, in court, and that was after the court session last week. And I'm going to play you the video, but I just want to look at something. I want us to look at something together. You know, when I learned of the arrest of Dr. Kassy, I came out and I said some things, and I was hurt because I felt like some persons are playing God to man. And, it's quite unfortunate that what is happening, and it can only happen in a place like ours, in a country like this one. I just don't want to say too much about this country because there is nothing that gives one any kind of hope. There's nothing that gives one any kind of joy thinking that you are a citizen of this country. Now, but the thing that it has gotten to the point where even we will be speaking about the church pastors in the light that we are talking about them, it beats my imagination. If you ask me, 3 years ago, if I would be here talking about pastors in Nigeria, I would tell you, no, far be it from me, that I wouldn't actually do that. But unfortunately, look at me sitting down here doing this. Now, who is Apostle Dr. Kassy? You all know him. He is a spiritual son of a certain Suleman. He also, I think, is also doctor. Now, he's also a doctor now, Apostle Johnson Suleiman. I think I've heard Kassy address him like that. Now, there are some kind of permutations that have been going, flying about, that Suleiman and Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyi were friends, and somehow they fell out. And but I'm not going to go into that because I really do not see the reality of these two being against each other. Maybe now, maybe not as it used to be before, because I remember that this same Apostle Kassy, when Jeremiah arrested him the first time, when he alleged that he was kidnapped by some police officers, that it was Suleiman who came to bail him, and then advised him not to talk about men of God again, and promised to speak with Jeremiah. Now, I think if they are, and we have seen the pictures of Jeremiah and Suleiman, together. So if they are no longer in good terms, it might not be something that happened before. It might be recently. And knowing that there is always this kind of competition, trying to outdo each other, most especially amongst these so-called prophetic churches, there is very devilish and demonic competition that is taking place amongst them, that sometimes you will have to see somebody arranging a testifier, like we saw the other apostle that brought Ufoma to come and testify, implicating about 2 or 3 pastors in that testimony, plus Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyi. And I remember I said that video that the guy Ufoma may be evil. He may have had his hands, tainted with blood and what have you, because we actually visited that church and listened to some people, and he said 1 or 2 things. Jeremiah is a charlatan, no doubt about that, but that thing you saw was arranged in order to, what's the name of the man now? Somebody, Mark, he was so too, trying to use that to, implicate Jeremiah and the man at the Christ Temple. What's the name of the church now? Amos, child of God. He also is in the prophetic, but his own is completely off what Jeremiah and the rest are doing. So it is not common to see that. I mean, it is not unusual when you see or when you note that there is some kind of bad blood flowing amongst these persons. But what surprises me, or what surprised me, is that Suleman, with all the avowed nature of Kassy's loyalty to Suleiman, Suleiman seems to have abandoned Kassy to his fate. We're going to look at that in this video and probably find out why, the reason why Suleiman may have abandoned Kassy, and also what probably may have implicated Kassy that he is going through what he's going through now. But I'd like you to have a look at this court section, this video that took place. This video of what happened in the court, the error of Kassy, yet again, the lamentation of his lawyer. Join me as we look at this. Yes.
Kassy, don't let anybody see you. Stay strong, though. Not be the people who tell you forgiveness. They carry you again. Stay strong.
Come on.
When you met me this morning, these people they are going to settle the high. They've started deceiving you. They've started deceiving you. He was talking with them. That is why he didn't come. Why not finish this part? Now,
Sir, this is Sarah. What do you have to say, sir, around Pastor Kassy?
Well, it's unfortunate what happened because I didn't expect it. Out of 10 count charges, why would you plead guilty to not guilty to 9 and then come and plead guilty to 1? The particulars of offense, everything is the same. The same. So if you're guilty on one, automatically you're guilty in the rest of it. And from day one, my position is let them prove they are guilty. It is not for the accused person to prove his innocence or to prove his guilt. If they have their fire, let them bring it. Cyber stalking is not such a serious crime.
So are they going to bail him now, sir?
Well, the ruling on the bail application will come on the 25th of September. So he has to be with them until that day will come. Probably the court will magnanimously grant the deliver terms. We'll take him on board. And is there any likely deliver judgment on duty on duty to you? Okay, but is there any way you can file any application for the court for them to read the case, or is it just like that they must know there is no remedy for the plea charge to be read again to him? Yes, sir. So that his plea can be taken a second time. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for everything, for all your.
So, you've seen that the video was after the court section, and you saw what the man said there, that he was surprised that Kassy pleaded guilty to 1 count. He was charged with 10 counts. Is it 10 count charge or 10, whatever it is? I don't know I've forgotten how they coin it. But then Kassy pleaded not guilty for 9 and pleaded guilty for 1. Somebody will be asking, how? What is it? Now, there was a video that Kassy did after he was arrested and released. And I think that that was where Jeremiah and his camp have nailed Kassy. Kassy came out and he apologized, saying I did that video here where I took you back to where when Apostle Kassy also came and now try to explain why he apologized to Jeremiah when he was first formally arrested, kidnapped, like he put it that time, when Jeremiah made a statement about TB Joshua and Idahosa. And eventually, the same Kassy said that people who gave him the information that he divulged did not do proper homework. And so he came out and he apologized to Jeremiah and warned everybody that was bringing issues to him to make sure that they were correct before bringing it to him. Now, that one ended, and I learned from this source here that Kassy was actually advised to take that matter to court. Listen to this man here.
I feel very disturbed in my spirit that how will somebody be treated as if he's a scapegoat? Are we no longer having justices in Nigeria? But I found out that this very man created problem for himself, Apostle Kassy Chukwu. One, he neglected the first offer that they gave to him. Please, you were kidnapped and forced out of your will. Most of us see the video then. Forced out of your will, they trick you to church to go and kneel down and beg, just the same way they forge miracles, of which you did it. Now, after all these things, a state governor brother called you and said, let this thing go to court. That would have been more better for Apostle Kassy Chukwu. He rejected the offer. But this same person will come and blame Esau tomorrow because a morsel of food. You sold your birthright to Jacob.
So now, Kassy declined the offer. I have a video of this man that I will upload to you. He really, vented his anger and frustration on Jeremiah. But I'm not going to include that long video here. Now, what I'm saying here is that Kassy actually had the opportunity to sue Jeremiah Omotofufenyi for, depriving him his human rights and for humiliation and what have you. And that offer was coming from somebody that was very, very highly connected, according to the video you just watched, a younger brother to a certain state governor. And Kassy declined that opportunity. And I want to believe that Kassy did not just decline that offer. I want to believe that Kassy was listening to the instructions that came from his spiritual father, Johnson Suleman. I'm not saying that there is a source or information that gave me this. But when you put 1 + 1 together, he said Suleiman bailed him that time. And Suleiman told him to stay away, to stay clear from men of God. Of course, he himself is always in the news. And so if he has a loyal son that is castigating or speaking against men of God, in quotes, he would not be happy because he has his own battles to face. So I want to believe that Kassy was prevailed upon not to accept that offer. Because Kassy did not fully forgive Jeremiah. Kassy nursed the wound. He kept licking the wound of his being humiliated in the church of Jeremiah until fate, that says, smiled on him and he found the video which Jeremiah thought he has finished deleting, that which they denied that he did not say. And so the day he came out to clear the air, it was like vendetta in a form. So if Kassy was thinking with his own mind when he was giving that offer, I'm sure Kassy would have taken that offer. But surprisingly now, this second time that Kassy was arrested, released, made to produce that video, and that video actually, I said, was what nailed Kassy, because that became an evidence in the hands of his enemies. That became a tool, against him, that they are holding up against him.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Apostle Dr. Kassy Chukwu. I want to come out here because so many people have been wondering how come some issues I don't speak about it, some video I don't speak about it. Now I want you to know that there are some mistakes I have made in the past. the mistake of whereby an issue is brought to my table, I don't investigate it proper. So if you see me not doing a video, you know that I'm taking my time. Even if I'm to speak into it, I'm taking my time to investigate it proper. Now, for example, for the issue of Prophet Jeremiah Omotofefe, there are some issues which I went on air to publish. I later discover on the road that these stories are not 100% truth. I have to withdraw. And I want to say this. It's a good thing every pastor, everybody, bloggers, before you post a video, before you say anything about any man of God or anybody, let there be a verification. Verify your story. Verify the story about the man of God. Like me, like I said, the story about Prophet Jeremiah, I didn't take my time to verify those stories. And I want to say this here today. I am sorry to Prophet Jeremiah. I'm sorry, Mercy City. I'm sorry for those videos. I'm sorry for posting those videos or coming out to speak about it. Because I later discovered that some of those videos were not 100% true. And I'm apologizing to him. And I wish everybody who want to post a video about pastor, because the attack on men of God are very high these days. Everybody want to attack men of God without knowing the truth behind it. Few months ago, I went through my...
Now, Kassy, in other way, may have said, okay, I won't take a fellow man of God to court. I won't take a fellow pastor to court. Let us, just forget it. Let me bear the consequences of my actions, and then, the intimidation. They're okay. Even though I don't like it, but he's a pastor, I'm a pastor, so let's just forget it. I'm just saying, giving him benefit of the doubt. But now in this case, Jeremiah is not thinking like that. Jeremiah just wants to score a point. And this is where some persons who are saying that Jeremiah and Suleiman are having issues, and that Jeremiah just wanted to use Kassy to get to Suleiman. I do not really think that that Apostle Johnson Suleiman is counting on Kassy's loyalty to the point of him feeling so bad that another man of God is trying to humiliate him, getting to him through his own spiritual son. Now, why I'm saying this is that it might not be that, that is the case. Johnson Suleiman himself may have actually hands off Kassy's case. You remember the tape that Kassy brought to us here? Kassy said something about his spiritual father. Okay, he came out and said he didn't mention anybody's name, but he was hammering Epa. Many people said that Epa was referring to Johnson Suleiman. This video that I'd like you to watch here, please watch. For anybody who knows Kassy, if you know him very well, please tell us if the voice you are going to hear now is not that of Kassy Shuku.
Epa, you don't get they argue. They argue sex.
Are you serious?
Go say, man, the girl was like, fucker. 90.
Well, I'm not going to play it all. You already know this. Now, there is something about this video. Kassy eventually came out and cleared the air that the Epa he was referring to was never Apostle Johnson Suleiman. And you give it to him. Me, I don't have any reason to hold onto it and say it must be Apostle Johnson Suleiman. But you know that between these two, like I used to tell people that between Joseph and Potiphar's wife, they know the truth. So between Kassy and Johnson Suleiman, and even the girl that was in that video, they know the truth. They know who the Epa was. Could the Epa be Suleiman? And could Sule be so angry with Kassy that he's a stupid son that washes the dirty linen of his papa in the open like that? And that may be the day that, I'm just saying, if that was actually what happened, Sule may have, crossed his heart and closed the chapters about Kassy and may even be willing and wishing that some person somehow will deal with him and teach him some lessons. Even though that when Kassy came out to make the apology to Jeremiah Omotofufenyi, he brought in Suleman into the case, that if he had known, he would have listened to his father, Johnson Suleiman. Or could it be that there was a kind of backyard or background rebuke and, a kind of discussion that bordered on several things that has to do with what they know about themselves, that also necessitated him coming out in the open. Now, these are all permutations, but if you ask me, I would say that part of the reasons why Suleiman may have abandoned Kassy to his fate could be that there is something that Kassy may have done, either that Kassy has not listened to him, like Kassy was, profusely saying, if I had known, I would have listened to my father in the Lord, and what have you. Remember how much Kassy came out to defend Suleiman when Maureen Badejo was hammering Suleiman. Kassy was doing videos calling out everybody that was saying one or two things against Suleiman. Now, you see, I have said what I said in the video that I did about the whole arrest. Now, Jeremiah now is angry that people are speaking against him. But when he had the opportunity to do what he was supposed to do, to clear his name from the mess, if he is denying culpability in the missing child baby testimony, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. And this has been all that I have said, that if Jeremiah had played a role of helping the woman at that initial stage, even if there is an atom of truth in what Ruth is saying now, nobody would have heard it. It was because of the way they handled it so shabbily, so immaturely. Is it immature or amateur? Whichever one. That is the way they handled it was so bad, that and so heartless. And now this man has become emperor. Who is the most wicked Caesar? Or should we even give him Adolf Hitler? He's now harassing everybody. He's intimidating everybody. He is threatening to arrest everybody, just anybody, just name them. And that is a pastor. And then you ask yourself, in this whole thing, what is the end game? The end game is to preserve this image that is actually non-existent. Me, I don't think that there was an image that somebody is actually trying to protect. No, there was not an image. Nothing existed before. Nothing was there. The people, a people deserve their leader, because a people will always produce their kind of leaders. You see, forget about the fact that we are crying in this nation. We deserve the kind of bad leaders we have. And so that congregation deserves the kind of leader they have. Maybe you won't understand, but this video is not where to talk about so many things. It will not be too, it will be too long rather. Now, what are you telling me? You see, oh my God. No image. There is no image. When you talk about people that even have image, people that have prestige, you talk about people who has been, taken to the highest level of smear, a highest level of criticism, highest level of, what can you say? People have said a lot about Padeboye. People have said a lot about Oyedepo. People have said something about Dr. Paul Enenche. People have said a lot about so many pastors, but they have never, ever resorted into intimidation. Whether what people are saying about them could be true or false, they have never resorted into intimidation. But we have an antichrist. We have a false prophet that is parading himself, as the next TB Joshua. And today, nobody can talk. Now, the fact is that, well, it is not easy to take a smear campaign that is when people are lying against you. But that is also part of the things one should also understand, that being popular, being a public figure, entails so many things, and more so being a pastor. If you're a pastor, there are several things you will endure. But we're not saying it from this people. Well, that's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that these things are pointed out could be the reasons why Kassy has been left alone to rot away. But thank God for some bloggers and Showore who was there and tried to give Kassy some kind of backing. And hopefully he might be released on the date of adjournment, which is either 25th or 26th of this month, according to that video that you watched there. Anyway, let me know what you think about this whole thing. Let me know what you think about the video in itself, about Kassy and Suleman and Jeremiah Omoto Fufenyi. God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, I remain yours in the Lord, from me to you. Shalom.